How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State men's basketball news. In today's video, probably the happiest I've been to make a video in a while. We're talking about two Aggie wins, two very close tight games that the Aggies were able to pull out that, earlier in the season, a lot of those games didn't go their way. I believe they're now like 3-7 or something like that in those, games that are decided by 5 points or less. So it was nice to get two of those in a row. One of them being a comeback win, being down by 14 with like 8 minutes, 15 in the first half. The other one being where we were kind of in control for a lot of the game, but we were able to maintain that win and not let them, hit a game winner or a game-tying shot to send the game into overtime. So we're going to talk about both games right now and what the conference tournament's looking like for the Aggies. Starting off with Thursday's game against Jack State, the Aggies started off okay. They went up 4-2, and then right from there, it was really, really bad. Jack State went on a 19-2 run. A lot of their main guys were getting the scoring act, went up 21-6. There's actually a guy, Mendrick, who the Aggies recruited. I think I made a video on him a little bit. He plays for Jack State now, averages about 8.5 points a game. He had a pretty nice game. He was doing some trash talking. I think Hooten and the coaching staff were a little upset about that, but the Aggies thankfully responded. Again, not the greatest start in the world. They had their moments here and there where they'd get it within 8 to 10 points. But for the majority of the game, they were down 14 to 15 points. I believe they were down by 14 without 8 to 10 minutes. They were able to hit some shots, cut it within 10, but it wasn't looking like they were able to get it done. Then they got within 5, and they kept going less from there. And there have been so many games just like that this season that they have not been able to get done, but things were different this game. A lot of players were clutch down the stretch. Of course, Jamel Jones, we know him to be that guy. Free throws were an issue throughout the game. Jamel, for example, missed 4, which is very uncharacteristic of him. A lot of guys are missing free throws. I think they shot a little over 60%. They were able to do a lot better at the end, especially Jalen Randall. We were down 68-65. Jalen took a 3, got fouled, almost went in, could have had the 4-point play, made all 3 free throws, came up really clutch. I think a lot of people were surprised about that. We all know Jalen's a great shooter, especially from the free throw line as well. But with that Aggie curse, they lose a lot of games off free throws, especially ever since that 2019 Auburn game in the NCAA tournament in March, obviously. And we're in March now, which the Aggies, 2-0 in March. Regardless of what happens in the tournament, they'll have a winning record in March, just like they have the past couple of years, so that's cool. It was 68-68, and in overtime, Jalen Randall got fouled right away, hit 2 big free throws to start off. The Aggies hit a lot of clutch shots. I believe they were only down by 1 at one point. Jamel hit a big 3, an NBA range 3, to put us up by 2. Then he got fouled, made 2 free throws, put us up by 4. And then the refs caught a foul on Anthony at the end on a 3, which I don't really think it was a foul. The officiating was terrible all night, definitely the worst it's been all season. The dude made his first 2 free throws. Really, really good player. Jamel had a hard time guarding him, number 2 for Jack State. But made his first 2, missed the third one, and then I think they called Jalen Rondo on a box out. Apparently he went over the line or something. And then the guy missed the 4th free throw. And the Aggies fought for the rebound, and they dove to the floor and just held on to it, and the game was over. It was a really, really good win. Really kept the spirit alive because Delaware and UTEP both won that day. So the Aggies were able to win and live to see another day. Going into Saturday's game, Delaware got completely destroyed by Louisiana Tech, 81-38, 43 points, insane score. So we didn't have to worry about them. Worst case scenario, like if we had lost and UTEP won, we at least want to get last place. UTEP's game was done during halftime of the Aggie game. They lost off a buzzer beater from Mustafa, their main guy. Jack State averages 19 points per game. Probably going to be Conference USA Player of the Year or definitely first team up there with Jamel. A lot of the UTEP fans are very upset. Even one of the guys was going to throw a chair at Jack State. Very inappropriate behavior from him. A lot of UTEP fans were not defending him. Obviously, you can't really defend that, but you never know. Rough season for them, 11-20, 7-13 conference. They did get a win against us, by the highlight of their year, but we also beat them by more points. And that whole fight happened there too. They're going to the Mountain West. So we'll see what goes on, what they do, how they recruit, and how they look for the future. And a team that obviously won't be playing in football and basketball. Who knows how it's going to look, because even in years we weren't in the same conference, we still find ways to play them. So we'll kind of see what goes on with that for the future. The Aggies started the game off very similar to Kennesaw State as they did the last time they played them when they went up 10-1 on the road. This time they're up about 8-2, up to 12-5. Then Kennesaw State went on a little bit of a run, got a little bit of a lead. Both teams led by as much as 7 at one point. Kennesaw State was doing solid at the start of the second half. Aggies were able to come back, build up a 6-point lead. Gabe Pickens played very well, had a nice and one to make it 70-64. He finished with 11 points and 8 assists, I believe. Juice Mims had 11 points, 6 rebounds. Jamel had 29 against Jacksonville State, had 19 this past game. So pretty solid game for him. Jalen Randall had 16 points. Overall, a lot of solid contributions, 4 players in double figures. It's really hard to lose a game sometimes when you have that many guys impacting you. Jamel hit a crazy tough shot to put us up by 4 at the end. It was like a crazy hook shot. Should have got the foul call, but again, the officiating was not great that game either. Not as bad as the Jack State game. Then we got Jalen Randolph had a guy who dunked it, got the free throw to go in. We were to get some buckets on the end. Went up by 3, 79-76. Anthony hit some big shots throughout the game. And then, Kennesaw State missed a 3 at the end, and the Aggies were able to pull away with the win. Finished the regular season with a 15-15 record, right at 500. Obviously, you want to try to be above 500 if you can, but I'll take being at 500 than being less than 500. And if the Aggies can win their game tomorrow against Jack State in the Conference CUSA Tournament, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, they'll ensure at least a 50% win percentage on the year. If they could beat Jack State and they'd had to play against Sam Houston, they can win both those games, and they would guarantee themselves a winning record. And those are both teams that they beat. And then if they win that game against Sam Houston, they'd play against the winner of Kennesaw State and Western Kentucky, who they both beat at home and both got destroyed to on the road. But teams they still beat, they win that game, go to the championship game. Who knows who they play? Probably Liberty, which is a team they competed with. Even the teams they haven't beaten in Conference USA, they've at least competed with them at least one time. So they showed they can hang with anybody in the conference, hence why they were picked to finish third. And I know they only finished 10th, and it sucks, 8-12 conference record. But again, still 15-15 overall. Definitely could be a little bit better. But again, I'll take a 50% win percentage over less than that. And we'll see if the Aggies can maintain that in the tournament. It's nice to know that, if they were to go on a big run and go to the championship game, they'd play against teams they've beat before. And there's no home court advantage for anybody. It's in Huntsville. Obviously, the last couple of years in the Conference USA Tournament, the Aggies have got out that quarterfinal round because they've been able to advance from the first round since they got, a top seed. This year, they had to play in the first round game. If they can get a big win there, that'd be huge. I was talking to some friends saying that they just want to see them get a win, in this tournament, which I would too. But at the same time they get a win, they just go to the quarterfinals, which is where they've got eliminated the past couple of years. So if they were to win that first round game, get eliminated in the quarterfinals, it's like, did they really show improvement from that? So it'd be nice they can just win those first few games, right? Obviously, last season we had a better regular season record, but I thought this past season we kind of finished kind of similar, I guess. Last year we finished off the regular season 5-2, losing that last game to Sam Houston probably should have been a win. This year finished off 4-2 after falling to 11-13. Got some big wins. It probably should have been 5-1. Shouldn't have lost to Middle Tennessee. That UTEP game we blew on the road. Same with Middle Tennessee the first time we played them. Those were games that we were up by 14 or more. Should have definitely won. And this Jack State game was very similar that we came back and won. So it was really nice to be on the right side of that. I'm kind of just rambling on right now, just trying to go through, everything that's been going on the past couple of weeks. I think I'm also going to I'll make a video based off how the Conference USA Tournament goes, just whenever the Aggies are done, whether they get eliminated after the end of the first round, if they make it to the quarterfinals, the next round, championship game, whatever it may be. If it's a perfect world and the Aggies were able to go all the way, I believe they play tomorrow on Tuesday, then on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Could be wrong on that. Jack State's the 7, we're the 10, and so again, winner of that would play against the 2, which would be Sam Houston, and then we'd play against the winner of the 3-6 matchup, Western Kentucky and Kennesaw State, and then depending on how the other brackets look, again, I would assume Liberty would probably make it all the way because as much as I don't like them, as much as nobody really likes them, you got to give them their credit. They're a great team. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody knocks them off. Like FIU, for example, if they were to win that first round game and play against them, you never know. FIU could beat them. They've played really, really close to them, just like the Aggies have. So anything can happen in this tournament. I really wouldn't be surprised if anybody wins it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if FIU wins it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Aggies win it. But obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the top teams win it as well. We'll just have to wait and see what goes down. Looking forward to the Jack State game tomorrow. This is a team that the Aggies have truly swept. Obviously, they've swept 3 teams in conference, I guess you could say. Sam Houston and La Tech only played them 1 time each, but still technically got the sweep. And then Jack State, only team they beat 2 times. Only team they've played this season where they beat them 2 times. So it'd be really nice to go 3-0. If you lose that game, yeah, you go 2-1 against them, but they also win the most important game and they get the bragging rights there. I think we have a little bit better of an overall record. They have a little bit better of a conference record, hence why they're a little higher in the standings. I believe that game will be a close game. The first time the Aggies played them at Jacksonville State, it was close, but it wasn't tight. Like the Aggies had control most of the way through. They won by 9 points. This last game was obviously super tight at the end after it wasn't looking like it was going to go the Aggies' way. I believe this game, whoever wins, will be about a 5 to 6 point game. I do like the Aggies' chances, but at the same time, this Jack State team is not a team to mess with. This is a team that was literally second in conference a few weeks ago. That just goes to show you how tight the conference is. You lose a few games, you just drop spots quick. So we'll see how this game goes. Jack State, they just beat UTEP. They also lost to UTEP early in the year. They have some good wins. They have some good losses. Anything can happen in this tournament. But I do like the Aggies' chances at the end of the day, like I said earlier. I can't speak too much on the future of the tournament. I already talked about like who would be playing and all that, but really the biggest thing is focus on that first game. I can't really talk about the next games because we only have one more guaranteed game. It feels really nice to get into that tournament after we had a little bit of a scare there. Definitely maybe not the regular season a lot of people wanted, but this team, I made that prediction before the season started that I thought this team was going to win 20 games, and I don't think it was super far off. Like obviously they only won 15, but there were so many games, like 7 or 8 games that probably shouldn't have went their way. There's obviously a few that did go their way that maybe shouldn't have. You're going to have those, but more than not, there was more games they probably should have won that they didn't. But again, if they can just get hot at the right time, that's kind of what they're doing right now. They won 4 of the last 6, won the last 2 in really tight fashion, which is good for them to have because they've had a lot of those losses just like that. You look at the last couple of years in the Conference USA tournament, they got blown out by 20 points to Western Kentucky the first time, or first year under Hooten in that quarterfinal round. Then last year lost to Kennesaw State in a very close matchup, 80-77. I always talk about it. Jacoby missed that free throw, Cook missed that half-court 3. It just was, a game that the Aggies, were super close to having. They got down by as much as 12, went on a 12 run to tie it at 51. Just didn't go their way at the end. Would love to see the Aggies get at least a win or 2 or more, obviously, in this tournament this year. Obviously, you want to win it all. Let's just keep showing that improvement and see what they can do. I predicted them to, be at the top of the conference. I predicted them to be top 3. They obviously didn't get that, but they're still in the tournament. They have a chance, and we'll see what goes on from there. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the Aggies' performance this past weekend. Thought they did a very great job. Some very close games. Be nice if we can get a win here and there where, it's not super, super tight and close, but obviously, again, we only have one more guaranteed game. Let me know in the comments below how you guys think the Aggies will do in the tournament. Be honest. If you guys don't think they're going to go that far, let us know. If you think they have a chance of going far, let us know. Like I said, anything can happen in this tournament. It's going to be really hard to win it all, especially as that 10 seed, but they've shown that they can beat teams higher up, and we'll see how it all goes. It would be really awesome if we can win, make a great video on it. Again, I'll get a video out later this week. If they go all the way to the championship game, I'll get a video out, I guess early next week on like Sunday, so it'll be spring break. If they get eliminated early on, I'll try to make a video throughout the week. And then it'll be off-season videos. And then, if they're able to win the whole tournament and go to the NCAA tournament, then obviously more videos to come. We'll see how it all goes. Again, anything can happen. I know I've said that all year long, but that's just how sports are, specifically basketball. Really looking forward to watching it. They play at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So really looking forward to that. I'm sure you guys are as well. Again, comment below what you guys think, and I'm out.